Hey guys, super excited to do this video after so long. I'm so sorry that I have been so busy. I haven't been able to post enough on YouTube. Story of my life at the minute. But anyway, I have some good news. I have always been thinking about how I can democratize wealth, since that's my mission, together with, closing the gender pay gap in my lifetime. So I'm always thinking of ways I can help. I do this through my education, as you know, through Fortune Academy, the whole financial literacy angle that I have in trading, money, the money mindset, the millionaire mindset programs that I do in the crypto that we offer at Fortune Academy, and the business training. And now, obviously, you guys know I've got a property background, right? But I've never wanted to do a property training course because, out of respect for the people that I grew up with in my 20s, or kind of they mentored me, I didn't really want to step on their toes. It was really that reason that I didn't create a property course. But I've always told everyone on the Millionaire Mindset that I will teach you property, is pretty much the whole thing. A property course is within the Millionaire Mindset. But now I've added one extra thing. My mission to democratize wealth means, how did I had a look at how I bought houses when I was in my 20s. I did not buy them with my money, because who can buy 3 or 4 houses a week, continuously with their own money? You will always run out of cash. And this is a really, really important area. I never thought I would be doing this, but I am so privileged to be able to do it in my time now. 20 years later, I'm able to look back, or not quite 20 years, but 2004 is when I started. And I now, 16 years later, I'm offering this type of amazing service. Is that 16 years later? Sorry, am I even thinking? No, 18 years later. I'm 2022. How my brain works. Okay, fine. So my point is, I'm going to be offering bridging finance. So how I bought properties was as follows. A typical house, let's say 100,000. I'm just going to keep the numbers simple. If you're looking at a house in the UK, by the way, I particularly love the UK market. I understand it. I get it. I won't be doing the bridging finance for anything else because I want to be safe. I don't want to lose my money, and I want to understand the legal frameworks within my business that I will be doing. So in the bridging for properties, I will be bridging only UK houses, and ideally residential houses, because I understand that very well, because that was my forte. So I want you, if you are a property developer, flip it. If you're someone who can find property deals and you're used to finding property deals and renting them out or refurbing them, this is something that would really help you, because bridging finance is so lucrative. I'll tell you how I did it. So I typically used to buy a house, let's say a 100K house in Coventry, and I would never pay market value. That was the ultimate number one rule to buying property with a profit. Never pay market value. I would always go for below market value. How do you get those below market value properties? Well, they're always available if you know how to look and how to market for them. They're going to be the repossessions, the bankruptcies, the divorce, the probate, the immigration, and it is such a marketing game. You really have to think like a business person. So people underestimate how hard that is. It's very easy to buy a property straight out of auction or straight from an estate agent. It's not a skill set. It actually is a really poor way of making money, because you're then relying on cash flow from rental, and rental is never that exciting. I'll be honest. It's like you have to have lots to make it exciting, which I did have and I do have. But at the beginning, rental didn't excite me. What excited me was making 35K per house, or approximately 35K or more per house. And how I did it was by buying a house that is worth around 100 and finding the ones that I could buy for 50 grand, 48,500, or maximum 70,000. Okay. So when I found those kind of houses, I would then get someone, a rich person, or usually a rich older person. So now that's me. They weren't as young as me, I'll be honest, and much older. But my point is, I found someone who was wealthy, who had cash, liquid cash that I didn't have, and that would bridge that money. So how a bridge works is quite simple. It's quite simple. The rich person will put the money in escrow or in a solicitor's account to purchase a house, and there would be a refinance happening on the same day. Look, what I'm telling you is not exactly what's happening right now in the property world, but I'm just giving you an idea of how I did it. But there are ways in which you can still use it. You just I guess I'll reveal that through the Millionaire Mindset Coaching, right? So my point is, I just want to teach you how I did it. So it doesn't exist anymore, but it exists in a different form, which I will show you how in the Millionaire Mindset Coaching course. This is why I'm telling you this, because I really want to help you have use of my bridging finance. You're going to help me make money on my liquid cash. Plus, you get to make a purchase without getting a mortgage in the first place. Maybe you're not able to, or your deal doesn't work, or you cannot have too many mortgages. So it really helps in some really cool way. But I used to get the same day bridge, get a refinance through our mortgage, and let's say I'd refinance at 85% loan to value, and the house is worth 100. Let's say that's an 85K mortgage. I bought the house for, let's say, 50, just to keep the numbers simple. So that's the bridge. This is the mortgage. And that bit there is 35,000 that I get cash in the bank, and is classified as a debt because it's a mortgage, and therefore it's tax-free. So this is why I loved it. So in my 20s, can you imagine me buying all these houses with no money down, refinancing them, and using bridging finance and getting big lump sums in my bank account that the tax man cannot legally touch? This is how I built up my cash. And that was the most exciting part of property. And just so you know, that property would still give me massive, cash flow for the years. I kept that house. So this example, I recently sold. I bought it for 48,000. I sold it literally last week for 125 or 126. I sold a few, but I bought them no money down. They gave me cash flow, and I've made 200% on this house. It's like, or something like that. It's so ridiculous. But I want to show you guys how you can do it. So this will really help you when you're literally printing money. Like, this is a whole different game, but it's not easy. You need to understand how to find the deals. The bridging bit is easy. It is just a simple form of lending money, and you pay an interest rate. So I was paying a certain percentage back to the guy that was offering me the bridge. But I want to do that for you. My bottom line is, I want to teach you how to buy properties below market value. I want to help you negotiate your deals. I want to help you with your whole team, your finance team, your mortgage team, your legal team. You need clever lawyers. You need a clever finance guy. Everything has to be done legally. There's lots of clever legal loopholes that you can implement. And then bridging finance is where I want to help you. So I'm democratizing wealth by doing it this way for you guys. This is another way of me helping you have the help that I needed when I was in my 20s, very desperately in need for mentors and help like this. So I'm very excited, bottom line, super excited. We've had tons of people reach out who are professional property developers. I will work with them straight away because they understand property, they understand the numbers. But for those who are aspiring to be a property developer, those who are a property investor, you don't have to be a developer. But if you're aspiring to be someone who wants a property portfolio, who doesn't know how to do it themselves yet, but they want that mentoring, I want to offer that mentoring for you to get these properties. But imagine you're making 35K a deal, cash in the bank, tax-free, and the numbers still stack, and the rent still pays a mortgage, and you still have a profit. That's the kind of property deals I liked. By doing it so many times, over 100 deals like this, I kind of moved on to other things, and I only got forced to stop by 2008 when the market just stopped and there were no mortgages. So obviously that's when I pivoted to financial trading, but I never lost any money in property doing it this way. And I never ever, the only downside, I'll be honest, is tenants. If you can get around your head how to deal with tenants, and you have to keep some money in the bank to cover voids and refurbs and replacing boilers. Everybody hates replacing a boiler. Any landlord will tell you that a boiler thing is so boring. There are insurances. Now, I was very young, and the downside of me doing property so quickly when I was young, there's not much downside, but if I had to pick a downside and think what really was difficult for me in my 20s was the maturity I needed. I wasn't that mature a business person. I didn't enjoy tenants. I did initially. I used to go give them a Christmas card. Very naive, until the tenants don't really like you because they see you kind of having their money. And don't get personal friendships created with your tenants. It never works. So I kind of find it tough dealing with so many people problems. You know, tenants don't like to pay very often. When they pay, of course, they like you, but I had to pretend it was my dad's house. That was the only way that I would kind of get away with it. Look, I was 22 doing this, and my tenants were 40s, 50s, some of them teenagers, some of them university students, some 20s, but most of them were way older than me. And obviously that was and I'm a female, so they used to not really understand, how can this young girl tell me to pay rent, you know, and became a personal issue for me at that time. So I had to pivot and pretend they were all my dad's properties to kind of get them to pay rent, or just believe that I can own this thing, because there's no, you know, that was the only downside. But in a nutshell, like, you know, now I look back and I think, wow, that was great, because I had the money from property. It then allowed me to make more money in Forex, you know, because I had cash. And this is just one of the strategies. I have so many strategies in property. There are so many. So the bottom line is, I want to teach you in the Millionaire Mindset program. Speak to my team, have a look at the link on this video and get on board. Yeah, I just want to give you that bridging finance, and let's make money together. So thanks guys for watching. I'm going to leave you, and any questions, also post them on the YouTube. Thank you guys. Bye.